You called down the thunder, well now you got it.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Hi, sir.
Okay, I'm in a quiet room now.
Okay, great. Yeah, it sounded like perhaps you were out. So I'm glad you have time to
Yeah,
talk.
I was feeding my kids right now.
Ah, okay. Well, I won't keep you. I just wanted to make sure to make contact with you. I had heard from the patient's advocate office that you were interested in speaking with me, and I'm assuming that it's probably about the letter that you had received. That was a letter of warning from the Disruptive Behavior Committee. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are your questions, sir?
My questions are that, well, first, just wanted to say that I disagree with mostly everything except for one part of your choices, like on why you guys decided to send me the letter.
Okay.
Like the only thing that was actually true out of that was the fact that I was going to post to YouTube, which I did, and then my outbursts were actually in reaction to the way your staff treated me. So this entire thing I feel is one-sided, because I know you didn't see the videos for a fact that you wouldn't have sent that letter to me had you seen the videos from the way that the staff had treated me.
Well, I had seen one video that was posted on YouTube. I did see one video. Okay.
I don't understand why you guys feel that it was necessary to tell me all that, because if you've seen the way that the staff treated me, was that was the reason why I reacted the way I did. You know, I didn't yell until Mike stood up and towered over me over his desk. I felt that I was being intimidated at that moment.
I understood. Well, and I'm sorry that you feel that way.
And then for you saying that I threatened your staff, you understand what the definition of a threat is, right?
I do understand what a threat is. Yes.
Yeah. A threat is with violent physical action. And what I did was say that I would hold you guys accountable. I don't see how that's a threat.
And sir, and I'm reviewing my letter. I don't. I would agree with you that I'm not seeing a lot of threats. I would agree with you that I'm not seeing a lot of threats from you. I'm not seeing threats from you. I'm not seeing threats from you. I would agree with you. So let me look at this letter. Is there? I know I'm just calling you out of the blue. Is there a specific portion of the letter that you're referring to, though?
Yeah, the entire thing, sir, because my main point to having to speak to you is that I don't feel that I need a babysitter, and I don't think that I need to be watched over, because, again, everything that I did was a direct reaction to the actions from your staff. And then, when I bring up the fact that you guys use fake police reports against me, Mike knows for a fact that they never wrote anything against me, but he tried to use that to eject me from the building. That's wrong. And then the other thing that you said was that I caused a stop into the flow of the way the clinic was working. I don't see how my request for an actual copy or some kind of proof that I was actually being denied of my medical treatment. That's the reason why I made 16 requests. I don't see how requesting medical information under the also the very first button the little first button inside of an email that you send in a secure message says general, right? And it says non-medical. So you said I was using the messenger in the wrong way. I don't see how I used it incorrectly.
Well, the report that I had received and one of the secure messages that I had seen was that there was a recording that had taken place on campus.
Yeah, that was the other thing too.
And then a message that came through that was about I'm looking at the language in front of me. It said, "Hey, since you decided to make me out to look like a villain and call the cops on me, I decided to make you famous."
Yeah, that was me posting that video of him threatening to call the police on me, and then the police showed up.
And I can understand that for sure. And when you talk about the use of secure messaging, I understand that you were using it to try to speak with them about that activity, but it really, and that's why it was a letter of warning. There wasn't necessarily an action.
It shouldn't have been. That was your action. You sent me a warning. You basically gave me a gag order.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because you told me that in that letter it says that if I do not stop doing what I'm doing, which I believe is medically found, you said that I covertly recorded you guys. I never did that. My phone was in my hand or strapped to my chest the entire time. And then if you watch the other video that I had posted, by the way, I took them all down out of respect for Dr. Cahill.
I understand you two met the week before last.
Yeah, and he has no idea what I'm talking about when I bring this stuff up. So, again, you completely took this one-sided. You didn't even do an investigation. You didn't even ask me for my side of the story or what happened. Plus, Mike tried to use a state law against me to stop me from recording. I do want you to be aware, and you probably are aware already.
Okay.
I can record. It's not against the law for me to record in the lobbies. I didn't go over the desk.
Right.
I didn't go into anybody's office. I already, and I also stated I wanted to record the conversation. I didn't want to record inside of the office. You see, it's all one-sided. You're taking your staff's word for what didn't happen, and I actually have all the hard. I'm sorry to keep talking over you.
Oh, that's
I just feel that you completely took this the wrong way, and especially when the police told me that they didn't file a report against me, and then you're saying that I caused a disruption.
Well, I want to respond to the first part. The first thing you mentioned about your right to record, and I have confirmed that. I think the thing to be careful of is the confidentiality of your fellow veterans, of course. And I absolutely do not think that you had any intent to violate other people's privacy or HIPAA. I'm just mentioning that's a limitation, that the privacy of other veterans receiving health care is very important too. But I do note that the ability for you to record is there. I think it's uncomfortable for people.
Nobody had an issue except for your staff. None of the other veterans cared. Actually, veterans walked up to me and asked me what was wrong.
And I could believe that for sure. I could believe, and I'm not, and there was no allegation that you did violate the privacy of any other veteran. Let me be clear on that. There was no ever any allegation of that. It's just a reminder that is something that we have to be taken care of.
Okay, but it's the fact that all of this stuff happened, and I'm very sure that your staff is well aware of what's going on. They want to give me a hard time. And you completely made your judgment on one side of the story, and I'd like you to take that, or take the information that I've given you, and actually, take that and take this away, because I shouldn't have a warning. We're doing something because I advocate for my own health care.
Right. And you should advocate for your own health care. I am a social worker. I absolutely agree with you, sir. Absolutely agree with you.
So do you agree with me as well that what I did was a reaction to your staff's actions?
Well, it seems like it was, there was a lot of tension.
At first. There was a lot of tension, but you also have to understand this has been a build-up over 2 years. I explained that to your staff as well.
And I received some information, and my understanding is that you're transitioning your care from Palo Alto. And my understanding is that the relationship with the VAPD down there was tenuous, huh? It was, you didn't really like that relationship. It wasn't a positive relationship. Is that fair to characterize it?
I guess it's fair, but I wouldn't characterize it as a relationship at all.
Okay.
I would characterize it as a actual battle between the good and evil, and I'm the evil.
Right. And I think myself and the committee were worried because we want you to have our goal is for you to get the health care that you deserve. And
so why would you guys make me come back to some place that literally traumatizes me? I already know you guys decided no, and I'm not arguing with the fact that it's just that I have to deal with the same people when I come back. In fact, can I tell you
primary
something?
Care,
right? All of
the
that.
Primary care.
None of this
we
would
did
have
not
been
make that decision. We did not make that decision. No.
I don't know who we is, but I know you didn't do it, and I'm not blaming you for that.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you something.
Okay.
Each situation that's occurred that has caused you to become involved is all because of your staff. None of this would have happened because it had August 8th last year not occurred. It's my first incident with your staff and police in one day because I called somebody a Karen.
Karen being Karen again, huh?
Right.
And then that's what transpired into all this madness.
What do you think that are there, and I know I'm asking you this kind of for the first time right now, but what do you think, is there anything that you feel staff could do differently when they engage you?
Not to jump to conclusions after one. Okay, sorry, that's long-winded.
That's okay. And again, I'm saying that out of the blue, so that's a big question.
One thing is, this is because of everything. I'd like everybody to please relax and not have such an ego, because whenever I show up, people believe that they still are able to give me direct orders. I'm not in service anymore.
Correct.
And they can talk to me like a normal human being. And you know what might happen? Maybe there might be a respect counteractive there. I just might be nice.
Well, are you getting your care needs met now?
Nope. Still waiting. I have an appointment tomorrow, and I'm going to request those appointments again that I requested 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago. And hopefully I can get my appointments. But I can't go outside of the network. I still have to see the doctors there at the VA. Still have to get touched by VA staff. And that's all I asked for, was to be able to leave the VA for anything that's a physical touch.
For anything where they physically have to touch you.
Correct. No, I don't believe that's too hard to ask, but apparently it is. But that's the decision that you guys made. You know, I can't stop you. But again, this is what happened to me, and I'm just letting you know that I felt that this was completely one-sided.
Right. Well, I appreciate your feedback, and absolutely will incorporate it. The goal of the committee is really to massage that relationship between the veteran and the staff.
I wasn't opposed to coming, doing optometry, or, you know, giving blood. I just don't want to sit in the office in the back and have to be touched. I don't know if you know what happened, but I don't understand. You know, this might be a little too far, but imagine you got raped or somebody was raped. They would not want to see their aggressor or their assaulter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that person's not here at McClellan,
mm-hmm.
but since nobody wanted to help me in the beginning with
mm-hmm.
this fact, they've all become poisonous to me.
Mm-hmm.
I have extreme anxiety when I walk into the building to the point that I almost throw up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in Mr. Kimball's office. I almost threw up on his floor when I was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because I'm like crazy or anything. It's just, I physically am driven to madness when I have to show up.
The anxiety.
Yeah, it's just overwhelming. I don't understand why I have to continually put myself into that situation. To me, that doesn't make sense. I'm not a doctor, but for my health, or if I were to advocate for myself, I wouldn't want to do that.
Right. Continue to expose yourself to something that makes you feel so terrible.
Right. I mean, why would I want to be sick when I'm supposed to go somewhere to feel better?
Right. And you're absolutely correct, sir. You shouldn't go to receive health care and feel like you're getting ice cold stares and glares and hatred. That is not what you should expect. It would be wise for me to remind people who are providing care to you to not be hypersensitive. And I said thin-skinned, but you know, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Just that sense of, like, just take it down a notch. Don't be hypersensitive. Let's start each interaction
I feed off of it
as a new one. And you feed off of it. That's great information.
And it's not that I want to. It's something I have to. Like I said, I'm learning to be a human again. These are things that I was trained to just eat you.
Right.
I really don't want to jeopardize my care. I just don't want to show up and be, discredited or just all out of character. Because a few situations that occurred, I understand that it makes me look bad. But when it's in my file and nobody's ever met me before, they're going to go off of that.
Right.
Oh, why I say that is because the person that scheduled my appointment for tomorrow, he said that this doctor is willing to see you. And I said, excuse me? You guys are willing to see me now?
That's a weird phrase.
I don't feel that what I've done, long story short, I don't feel that what I did warranted a warning. And if you feel that you still want to hold that against me, that's your job. I just wanted to talk to you about it and see where you were coming from. And I understand it's actually not you. This is what your staff told you.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we should have spoke before this.
Again, the goal is for you, as the veteran, to receive quality health care.
Right.
In a respectful manner, safe and respectable manner.
Because I really don't feel that it's necessary for you guys to have to send an escort or babysit me.
Right.
That's a waste of your time, your resources, and it's unneeded. If you feel that you really need to, I'll wait outside until somebody meets me.